Good morning, Professor. Congratulations on your book. Could you please elaborate a little bit about your term that you are introducing, the global fault lines?
Ilya, thank you very much for this question. Global fault lines is a term which has been designed to help us to understand the movements and systemic changes within the global economic system. It is a new term, but of course it's been located within the rich experience and the literature of the neoclassical Marxist and world system theories and understandings. But of course we try to go one step further than what is already there in terms of understanding the movements and the shifts within the global system. Global fault lines aims to provide the long-term historical reasons and the origins of the change rather than looking at the immediate causes of the change. For instance, in relation to the current global financial crisis and the economic crisis, global fault lines is not really interested in what is the immediate reasons, like the collapse of the housing bubble in America, or the greedy bankers, or the mistakes made by the authorities of the banking, but it looks at what is the real, actual, long-term changes which made this crisis erupt at this particular time. And most of these changes have been there at least for decades, if not centuries ago. Something, for instance, the major changes within the structure of the global system from 1960s onwards prepare the real ground for the current economic problems. In order to understand global fault lines, probably one has to grasp the actual characteristics of the world economic structure and the system. And probably I would like to say a few words about this system, how I see the system, and on the basis of this understanding, maybe global fault lines makes a better sense. The global economic system is a single global structure, and almost nothing happens outside of this. So every national economies, multinational companies, every economic activity in this world, wherever happens in this world, happens within this one single global system. And this system does exist in one form or another, at least for the last 2,000 years of the history of the human beings. So this is the first point, first premise. There is one global system and nothing remains outside of the system. And second system is all national economies occupy a position in the system. But of course the positions the national economies occupy are not at the same level. So even though all national economies, all states are sovereign, but some have more power than the others, and some have much more power than the rest of the economies. Depending on these positions they occupy in this global system, some states or one major state becomes the most powerful state, which we call it hegemonic state. So these hegemonic positions change and shift over time in history. So global fault lines is a way of looking at this shift and try to understand how this shift happens and why it happens, and according to this changing global hegemonic position, how the position of the other states change over time in history.
Thank you very much, Professor Gokay.
You're welcome. Thank you.